If you carry a pain you can't explain, but feel every single day, this video is for you. Do you know that feeling of emptiness that appears out of nowhere? That tightness in your chest that seems nameless? Or that inner voice whispering that you're not enough, no matter how hard you try? I know what it's like to wake up already tired, to carry an invisible weight that no one sees, but you feel with every breath. Louise Hay, the woman who healed millions of hearts around the world, said that every emotional pain has an origin, and that there are 3 simple words that can change everything. Today, you'll discover what those words are and why they're more powerful than years of therapy. But first, I need to tell you something. You're not imagining this pain. It's real. It lives in your chest, in your throat, in your stomach. Sometimes it comes as a wave of inexplicable sadness. Other times as a rage you can't direct. You've tried everything: therapy, self-help books, meditation, courses, motivational speakers. Some things gave you temporary relief, but the pain always returned, like a wound that doesn't heal properly and keeps hurting deep down. And then you started to think, maybe the problem is you, maybe you're somehow flawed, maybe you can't be happy like other people. But I need to tell you a truth that will change everything. This pain you feel isn't a flaw. It's not a lack of strength, a lack of faith, or a lack of effort. It's the result of years of accumulating emotional wounds without knowing how to truly heal them. Louise Hay knew this because she lived it. She was abused at 5, dropped out of school, lived in relationships that destroyed her from the inside out. For years, she carried such deep pain that her own body began to scream. At 47, she was diagnosed with cervical cancer. The doctors wanted to operate immediately, but Louise asked for 3 months. 3 months to try something different, something that conventional medicine didn't teach, something she was discovering about the mind's power to heal the body and emotions, until she discovered something revolutionary, something so simple it seems impossible, but so powerful it changed not only her life, but the lives of millions around the world. The emotional pain you feel isn't just a passing emotion. It's an energy pattern engraved in your subconscious. It's a frequency you emit without realizing it, and this frequency attracts more of the same to your life. Have you noticed how you always attract the same kind of disappointment? How the same patterns repeat themselves in your relationships? How, no matter how hard you try to change on the outside, something inside remains the same? It's as if you were an emotional magnet, attracting exactly what confirms your deepest wounds. If deep down you believe you don't deserve love, you'll attract people who don't love you right. If deep down you believe you're not enough, you'll attract situations that confirm your inadequacy. This happens because there's an inner voice that you may not even notice anymore. A voice that has been repeating the same beliefs for years. I'm not loved. I don't deserve to be happy. Something is wrong with me. I always mess everything up. No one truly understands me. Louise Hay called this toxic mental chatter, and she discovered that this chatter doesn't just keep the pain alive, it multiplies it. Each thought of self-criticism is like pouring salt on an open wound. Every time you diminish yourself, you're programming your subconscious to accept less than you deserve. But here's what will change everything for you. If thought created the pain, thought can heal it. If hurtful words wounded you in the past, words of healing can liberate you in the present. And they aren't complicated words. They aren't mantras in Sanskrit or affirmations you can't feel. They are 3 simple words, so simple a child would understand, but so profound they touch the root of every emotional wound. Do you want to know what they are? They're coming. But first, I want you to understand something fundamental about how emotional healing really works. Emotional healing doesn't happen in the mind. It happens in the heart. Louise Hay discovered that the brain can lie, it can rationalize, it can create stories. But the heart always knows the truth. And the truth is this: you are not what they made you believe about yourself. You are not the sum of your wounds. You are not a prisoner of your past. You are not the mistakes you've made. You are not the cruel things that were said about you. You are a being of light, temporarily forgetting who you really are. You are pure love, covered by layers of pain, fear, and self-protection. And these three words are the key to removing these layers and returning to your essence. But let's get to what really matters. Why do these three words work when everything else has failed? Why can they heal wounds that have resisted years of therapy? Louise Hay spent years studying this. She discovered that every emotional pain, no matter what it is, has a common root. Doesn't matter if it's abandonment, rejection, betrayal, humiliation, abuse, neglect. They all spring from the same place, from the separation, from self-love, from the disconnection from your own essence, from the forgetting of who you really are. Every time someone hurt you, a part of you believed you deserved that pain. Every time you were rejected, a part of you concluded that something was wrong with you. Every time you were betrayed, a part of you decided you couldn't trust your own judgment. And so, little by little, you disconnected from yourself. You built walls to protect yourself from pain, but these same walls separated you from love. You developed defense mechanisms that kept you safe, but also kept you alone. I don't love myself enough to protect myself. I don't love myself enough to set boundaries. I don't love myself enough to demand respect. I don't love myself enough to leave when I should. Every time you diminish yourself to please someone, you're telling the universe, I don't love myself. Every time you accept crumbs of affection, you're affirming, I don't love myself. Every time you blame yourself for something that isn't your responsibility, you're repeating, I don't love myself. And the universe, which is a pure mirror, reflects exactly that back. It sends you people who also don't love you, situations that confirm your unworthiness, experiences that validate your belief that you're not enough. But now comes the revelation that changed Louise Hay's life, and that can change yours today. If you can change that inner conversation, if you can reprogram that frequency, everything around you begins to transform, as if you changed the channel of a radio that only played sad songs to one that only plays songs of hope. It's like changing the lens through which you see the world. And when you change the lens, you change the experience. When you change the experience, you change your reality. And these three words are the key to that change. They're the switch that turns off the autopilot of pain and turns on the autopilot of healing. Louise Hay discovered them when she was at rock bottom, diagnosed with cancer, divorced, broke, carrying the trauma of a lifetime. That's when she found these words, and they literally saved her life. Not just saved it. They transformed her into the woman who touched millions of hearts around the world, the woman who proved it's possible to heal from the inside out, the woman who showed that self-love isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Now, before I reveal these words to you, I want you to pause for a moment. Take a deep breath. Place your hand on your heart. Feel it beating. This heart beating now has been through so much. It's been hurt, shattered, rejected, ignored. But look, it's still beating. It still loves. It still has hope. It still believes you deserve to be happy. And it's to this courageous heart that these three words are directed. It's this heart that will receive the medicine it so desperately needs. Louise Hay used to say, healing begins when you stop running from pain and decide to make peace with it. These three words are your peace treaty, your ceasefire agreement. In the war you've been waging with yourself for so long, they won't erase what happened. They won't change the past, but they will completely change how you relate to it. And, most importantly, how you relate to yourself from now on. Because In the end, the only approval you truly need is your own. The only love that can complete you is the love you feel for yourself. The only peace that can heal you is the peace you make with your own story. The 3 words are coming, and with them, a new life is beginning for you. A life where you are no longer your own enemy but your best friend. A life where you don't need to prove your worth because you already know you have worth. A life where you don't seek love outside because you've already found it within. But first, you need to understand something that Louise Hay discovered after years of study. All emotional healing goes through 3 stages: acknowledgement, forgiveness, and release. First, you acknowledge the pain without judging it. You look at it and say, I see you, I accept that you exist. I'm not going to pretend anymore that everything is okay when it's not. Second, you forgive. Not because the person deserves it, but because you deserve peace. You forgive to liberate yourself, not to be nice. You forgive because carrying anger is like holding a burning coal in your hand, hoping the other person gets burned. And third, you release. You let go of what no longer serves you. You choose a new story for your life. You decide that your past does not define your future, and these are exactly the 3 stages that these 3 words represent. Each word corresponds to a stage of healing. That's why they are so powerful. That's why they work when everything else fails. Are you ready? Because your life is about to change. Because you are about to discover the antidote to all the emotional pain you carry. The 3 words that Louise Hay discovered are, I forgive myself. I know what you're thinking. That's it? I forgive myself? It seems too simple, doesn't it? That's exactly where the power lies. Louise Hay used to say that the deepest truths always come packaged in simplicity. I forgive myself. 3 words that carry all the medicine your heart needs. 3 words that can undo years of self-punishment. 3 words that can break emotional chains you didn't even know existed. But wait, before you think this is too obvious, let me explain why these words work when nothing else does. Why they can touch wounds that have resisted years of therapy. When Louise Hay had cancer, she did something that shocked all the doctors. Instead of focusing on the disease, she focused on the emotional cause of the disease. She discovered that the cervical cancer was connected to deep feelings of guilt and self-rejection related to the abuse she suffered as a child. For 3 months, every day, several times a day, she looked in the mirror and said, Louise, I forgive you. I forgive you for everything you did or didn't do. I forgive you for allowing yourself to be hurt. I forgive you for carrying this guilt for so long. At first, the words came out mechanical, empty. Her mind resisted. How can you forgive yourself? You let this happen. You were weak. You were stupid. But she continued, every day, looking herself in the eyes, repeating, I forgive myself. And something magical began to happen. The first thing she noticed was that her breathing changed. The constant anxiety lessened. The tightness in her chest began to dissolve, as if her body finally received permission to relax after decades of tension. Because that's what forgiveness does. It releases the muscular tension you didn't even know you were carrying. It releases the pressure in your chest. It releases the knot in your throat. It releases the pain in your stomach. But why specifically I forgive myself and not I love myself or I am enough? Louise discovered something revolutionary. Before you can truly love yourself, you need to forgive yourself. Before you can accept yourself, you need to stop punishing yourself. It's impossible to plant flowers in a garden full of thorns. Think with me. How many times a day do you criticize yourself? How many times do you mentally replay your mistakes? How many times do you blame yourself for past decisions you can no longer change? How many times do you berate yourself for the same flaws you've known for years? Why did I do that? How could I be so stupid? I always mess things up. I'll never learn. I'm no good. This constant self-punishment is like an emotional poison running through your veins. It intoxicates your energy, lowers your vibrational frequency, and attracts more situations that confirm your inadequacy. I forgive myself is the antidote. It's the medicine that neutralizes this poison. It's the key that unlocks the prison where you keep your own heart. But there's a right way to do this. It's not just about mechanically repeating the words like a parrot. Louise Hay created a specific ritual, a healing protocol that she used not only to cure herself of cancer, but to completely rebuild her emotional life. And now I'm going to teach you exactly how to do it. Every step, every detail, just as Louise taught. First, you'll need a mirror. It can be the bathroom mirror, a hand mirror, any mirror. The mirror is essential because it forces you to connect with yourself. There's no escaping it, no pretending, no distracting yourself. When you look in the mirror and speak to yourself, you're speaking directly to your subconscious, bypassing the critical mind and going straight to the emotional core. Second, you'll look into your own eyes, not at your whole face, not at the flaws you think you have, not at the wrinkles or blemishes, directly into your eyes. Louise Hay said the eyes are the window to the soul. It's through them that you speak directly to your deepest self. At first, it will be difficult. Your mind will want to look away. It will invent 1,000 excuses. This is silly. This doesn't work. I feel ridiculous. But you keep looking, because on the other side of that discomfort lies your freedom. Third, you'll take 3 deep breaths. Inhale slowly through your nose. Hold the air for 3 seconds. Exhale slowly through your mouth. This calms the nervous system, reduces anxiety, and prepares your heart to receive healing. And then you'll say your name and the magic words, Sarah, I forgive you. Emily, I forgive you. Use your own name. This makes the forgiveness personal, intimate, real. But it's not just any I forgive you. It's a specific, targeted, conscious forgiveness. Louise Hay taught that you should start by forgiving the small things of everyday life. Emily, I forgive you for yelling at the kids today. Sarah, I forgive you for overeating at lunch. Michael, I forgive you for losing your patience in traffic. Why start with the small things? Because your mind will resist less. It's easier to accept forgiveness for smaller things, and so you'll be training your heart to receive healing. It's like exercising an atrophied muscle. You start with light weights. After a few days of doing this, you'll notice something incredible. Your inner voice will begin to change. Instead of automatically criticizing yourself when you make a mistake, you'll remember, wait, I can forgive myself for this. It's as if you're reprogramming mental software that has been running in self-criticism mode for years. You're installing a new program, the program of self-forgiveness. But then comes the most powerful part. The part that truly transforms lives. After you can forgive the small things easily, you'll move on to the bigger wounds. The wounds you've carried for years. The wounds that have defined how you see yourself. Emily, I forgive you for trusting someone who betrayed you. Sarah, I forgive you for not protecting yourself when you needed to. Michael, I forgive you for believing you weren't enough. I forgive you for allowing yourself to be mistreated. I forgive you for not saying no when you should have. I forgive you for diminishing yourself to please others. And here, Louise Hay did something that changed everything. She didn't just say the words. She put her hand on her heart and felt them entering her body. She felt the forgiveness spreading through her chest, her arms and her belly, because forgiveness isn't a mental concept, it's a physical experience. It's a release that happens in the cells, the muscles, the breath, the heartbeat. When you truly forgive yourself, when you feel the forgiveness in your body, something changes in your posture. Your shoulders relax, your breathing becomes deeper, Your jaw unclenches. It's as if you're taking off heavy armor you've been wearing for years without realizing it. But I'll let you in on a secret that took Louise Hay years to discover. The hardest forgiveness, the one that truly liberates, isn't forgiving those who hurt you. It's forgiving yourself for allowing it, for not protecting yourself, for not seeing the signs. I forgive myself for not listening to my intuition. I forgive myself for ignoring the red flags. I forgive myself for betraying myself to keep the peace. I forgive myself for choosing security over my happiness. These are the forgivings that truly liberate, because they break the cycle of self-sabotage that keeps you trapped in the same patterns. They break the chain of guilt that binds you to the past. Louise Hay used to say, "You can't change what happened, but you can change how you feel about what happened. And when you change how you feel, you change your vibrational frequency. And when you change your frequency, you change your reality." That's exactly what I forgive myself does. It changes your internal frequency. Instead of vibrating guilt, you vibrate compassion. Instead of vibrating self-rejection, you vibrate self-acceptance. Instead of vibrating punishment, you vibrate forgiveness, and the universe, which always mirrors your inner vibration, begins to return this new frequency to you through people and situations. You stop attracting people who criticize you because you've stopped criticizing yourself. You stop attracting situations that punish you because you've stopped punishing yourself. But there's more. Louise Hay discovered that when you truly forgive yourself, something automatic happens. You stop needing the validation of others to feel good about yourself. You stop seeking approval from outside because you've found approval within, and naturally, you begin to attract people who respect you, who value you, who treat you with the same love you're learning to have for yourself, not because you've changed your appearance or personality, but because your inner energy has changed. People who vibrate criticism and judgment can no longer connect with you. It's as if you're on different radio frequencies. They simply can't reach you emotionally. Now, I want to give you the complete protocol that Louise Hay used. The same one that healed her cancer and completely transformed her life. The same one she taught to thousands of people around the world, every day, morning and night, for at least 21 consecutive days. You will do the mirror ritual. Look into your eyes, take 3 deep breaths, and say, "Your name, I forgive you for everything that needs to be forgiven. I release you from the past with love. I choose peace in your heart now." And then you'll choose one specific thing to forgive that day. It could be something that happened that day, something from the past that came to mind, or something about yourself that you have difficulty accepting. I forgive myself for snapping at my mother. I forgive myself for getting angry for no reason. I forgive myself for not being able to exercise today. I forgive myself for comparing myself to other people. Louise Hay said that 21 days is the time it takes for the mind to create a new neural pathway. After 21 days of conscious practice, forgiveness will become your automatic response instead of self-criticism. But I'll give you an extra tip that Louise Hay only discovered later in life. If you want to accelerate the process, write it down too. Every day, take a notebook and write, "I forgive myself for," and complete it with something specific from that day. The act of writing involves a different part of the brain. It's like you're engraving forgiveness, both in your conscious and subconscious mind. It's like signing an official document of release, a powerful act of letting go. And there's one final secret, the most powerful of all. When you truly forgive yourself, when you feel it in your heart that you're no longer at war with yourself, something magical happens. You stop needing others' approval to feel whole. You stop searching outside yourself for the love you finally found within. You stop trying to prove your worth and simply know you are worthy. And that's where your life really changes. Because you stop attracting love out of need and start attracting love from a place of abundance. You stop accepting crumbs and start demanding the feast you deserve. Louise Hay lived this firsthand. She transformed from a broken, sick, and lonely woman into one of the world's greatest emotional healers. It all started with 3 words: I forgive myself. She often said later in life, forgiveness is the golden key that unlocks all doors. When you forgive yourself, you liberate yourself. And when you liberate yourself, you become a light for others to liberate themselves as well. Today, you've received that golden key. I forgive myself. 3 simple words that can change everything. Use them every day. Your soul has been waiting a long time for this medicine. Start today. Look in the mirror, take a deep breath, and say your name followed by, I forgive you. Feel those words entering your heart like a healing balm. Feel your soul relaxing for the first time in a long time. If this video touched something within you, if you felt it wasn't a coincidence that you got here, that's your intuition telling you it's time. Time to make peace with yourself. Subscribe to the channel because you deserve to receive more content that nourishes your soul. And in the comments, write only, I forgive myself. Let's create a wave of collective healing that will touch hearts around the world. Remember, you don't need to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. You don't need to be perfect to be loved. You don't need to punish yourself for past mistakes. You just need to forgive yourself and let love do the rest. I forgive myself. 3 words that can change everything. 3 words that Louise Hay used to heal herself from terminal cancer. 3 words that can heal any emotional wound. Start today. Your new life is waiting.